Yes, sir. At once. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction options. Building.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well.
Construction complete.
Comrade, acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Construction options. Building.
Vehicle
Affirmative.
reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Comrade, acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Waiting orders.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Comrade,
Affirmative.
yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Comrade,
Affirmative.
yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction
Yes, sir.
complete.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Construction options.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Comrade,
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative.
comrade,
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. Very well.
Unit ready.
Yes,
Building.
sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building. Building.
Reporting.
Awaiting orders.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Unable to comply. Building in progress. New construction options. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building. Building.
Waiting reporting. Waiting affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Comrade,
Construction complete.
acknowledged.
Building. Spy plane ready. Building. Select target. Unit ready.
Comrade,
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Comrade,
Construction complete. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Yes, sir.
comrade, acknowledged. Comrade,
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
comrade, acknowledged.
Awaiting orders.
Spy
Acknowledged.
plane
Comrade.
ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Select target.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Waiting affirmative.
Building. Construction
Yes,
complete.
sir. Affirmative.
Construction options. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Waiting order.
Building.
Report. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Comrade, acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Select target.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle report. Acknowledged. 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 Vehicle report.
Affirmative.
Vehicle. Yes,
Unit
sir.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting
Unit
order.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Ready
Unit
and waiting.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Spy plane ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Select target. Construction complete. Repairing. Building. Construction complete.
Waiting order.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Cannot deploy here. Low power. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Reporting.
Unit lost. Construction complete. Unit ready.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Acknowledged.
Building. Spy plane ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Unit ready. Select target.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Unit lost.
At once. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative. Report
Unit
affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Sonar pulse
Waiting
available.
order at
Unit
once.
lost.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Spy plane
Affirmative.
Building.
Comrade? Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
New construction options. Training. Select target. Unit ready. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Waiting orders. Agreed. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Comrade? Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Spy plane ready. Select target.
Waiting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Waiting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Comrade?
Acknowledge.
Preparing.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Comrade,
prepared.
Reporting. Vehicle reporting.
Prepared.
Affirmative.
Comrade? Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Comrade?
Unit prepared.
Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge.
Construction
Waiting
complete.
order. Acknowledged.
Awaiting
Acknowledge.
orders. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Report. Acknowledge.
Spy plane
Affirmative.
ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Comrade? Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Select target. Preparing.
Comrade? Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit prepared.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Waiting order. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
prepared.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Preparing.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit prepared.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Building.
Comrade? Reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
prepared.
Affirmative.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Construction
At once.
complete. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Repairing. Spy plane
Yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Select target. Building. Unit repaired.
Awaiting or
Okay.
acknowledged.
Construction complete. Unit repaired. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Comrade.
Acknowledged.
Repairing. Construction complete. Unit repaired. Building.
Reporting.
Acknowledged. Comrade. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired. Spy plane ready. Building. Select target. Construction complete. Construction options. Training. Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Comrade.
Construction complete. Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Cannot deploy here. Building.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. At once.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes,
Our
sir.
base is under
Affirmative.
attack.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Comrade.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Comrade.
Affirmative.
Spy plane ready. Building. Select target. Repair.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Comrade.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Unit repaired. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Spy plane ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Select target.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete. Building. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting order.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting.
Affirmative.
Waiting order.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Comrade.
At once. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle report. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Spy plane
Yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Select target.
Vehicle reporting. Agreed. Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Waiting
Unit
orders. Yes, sir.
lost.
At once.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Vehicle.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Comrade.
Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Very well. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Spy plane ready. Select target. Construction complete.
Comrade.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Construction options. Building. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Ready and waiting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Vehicle affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost. Unit
Awaiting
lost.
affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. Acknowledged.
Our base
Comrade.
is under attack.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well. Vehicle
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Yes, affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit
Awaiting
ready.
acknowledged.
Spy plane
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative. Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building. On hold. Building. Building. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
Structure sold. Unit ready. Structure sold. Construction complete.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting.
Vehicle reporting.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Very
Unit
well.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Comrade. Affirmative. Comrade.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Select target.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Comrade.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting.
Reporting.
lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. Yes, sir.
Yes. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Ready and waiting.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Waiting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Spy plane ready.
Awaiting orders.
Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Select target. Select target. Reinforcements have arrived.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Select target.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Comrade. Affirmative. Comrade. Acknowledged.
Mission accomplished.